It played their song every night until one day it stopped. This is the story of Clara and Leo, and a promise held within a tiny, hand-carved music box. Their story began, as many do, in a place you'd least expect it. A dusty old antique shop tucked away on a cobblestone side street. Leo, a history student with a love for things with a past, was searching for forgotten treasures. Clara, an aspiring musician, was looking for inspiration. She found it not in a vintage guitar or a rare sheet of music, but in the soft, determined eyes of a young man holding a small wooden box. He was examining it with such care, his fingers tracing the intricate carvings of vines and songbirds. She stepped closer. "Is it a special one?" she asked, her voice startling him. He looked up, and for a moment, the world outside the dusty shop seemed to fade away. "I'm not sure," he admitted with a shy smile, "but it feels like it is." He wound the tiny key on the bottom, and a melody, fragile and sweet, filled the air. It was a tune neither of them recognized, yet it felt instantly familiar, like a memory from a dream. Clara hummed along, her voice a perfect harmony to the tinny notes. In that moment, a connection was forged, as delicate and beautiful as the melody itself. Leo bought the music box, not for his collection, but for her. "So, you'll always have a song," he said. From that day on, the music box became the soundtrack to their lives. Leo would wind it every night before they went to sleep. The familiar tune was a lullaby, a promise of another day together. It played through late-night study sessions, quiet evenings, reading, and even the occasional argument, its gentle melody a reminder of their foundation. Years passed. They built a life together, filled with the loud, chaotic symphony of love, laughter, and shared dreams. Leo became a history professor, sharing his passion for the past with new generations. Clara became a composer, her music filling concert halls, but her favorite piece was still the simple, unnamed tune from their little wooden box. They promised each other they would travel the world, to see the places Leo had only read about in his books. "When we retire," he'd say, "we'll go everywhere, and we'll take our song with us." The music box sat on their nightstand, a silent witness to their plans, a wooden keeper of their future. One Tuesday morning, Leo woke up feeling a little more tired than usual. He chalked it up to a long week, but the fatigue lingered. Then came the tests, the hushed conversations with doctors, and the diagnosis that changed everything. The world they had so carefully built began to feel fragile, just like the old music box. Through it all, Leo's spirit remained unbroken. Even on the hardest days, when pain was a constant companion, he would reach for the music box. He'd wind the key, his hand a little less steady than before, and as the melody played, he would look at Clara. "Our song," he'd whisper. It was no longer just a lullaby. It was an anchor, a testament to a love that was facing its greatest storm. Clara became his rock, his nurse, his everything. She'd read his history books to him, their roles reversed. She'd play her new compositions for him, her music now laced with a bittersweet depth it never had before. And every night, they would listen to the music box together, holding hands. Its simple tune, a powerful declaration. We are still here. We are still together. Then came the evening when Leo's hand was too weak to turn the key. Clara's heart ached as she took the box from him. She wound it, her tears falling onto the carved songbirds. She held it close, pressing it to his ear as he drifted off to sleep. The melody of final, gentle goodbye. The next morning, the silence in the room was deafening. The world felt muted, gray. That night, for the first time in years, Clara went to bed alone. She reached for the music box, her fingers trembling. She needed to hear their song. She needed that connection, that reminder of him. She wound the key, her breath held in anticipation. But when she released it, there was nothing. Just a soft, mechanical click. She tried again and again. The gears turned, but no music came out. It was silent, utterly, completely silent. A wave of despair washed over her. It was as if the music box had died with him, as if their song had truly ended. The little wooden box, once a source of so much comfort, was now just a painful, silent reminder of what she had lost. The promise felt broken. For weeks, the music box sat untouched on her nightstand, a monument to her grief. The silence in the house was a constant ache. She tried to compose, but her inspiration was gone. The music inside her was as silent as the box. Seffield lost adrift in a world that had lost its melody. One rainy afternoon, unable to bear the silence any longer, she decided she had to get rid of it. She couldn't look at it anymore. She took the box and drove to the same antique shop where their story had begun. It looked exactly the same, a timeless capsule. The old shopkeeper, now with more gray in his hair, recognized her. "Ah, the girl with the song," he said with a kind smile. Tears welled in Clara's eyes. "The song is gone," she whispered, placing the box on the counter. "It stopped playing. I think it's broken." The shopkeeper picked it up, his touch gentle and knowing. He examined it carefully, just as Leo had done all those years ago. "Sometimes," he said softly, "things aren't broken. They're just waiting for the right time to play again." He turned the box over and pointed to a tiny, almost invisible seam in the wood. He used a small tool to carefully pry it open. Inside, nestled in a bed of faded red velvet, was not just the musical mechanism, but a small, folded piece of paper. It was Leo's handwriting. Clara's hands shook as she unfolded it. "Then I'll read, my dearest Clara. If you are reading this, it means our song has stopped, and I am no longer there to end it for you. Don't be sad. Our song isn't in this box. It never was. It's in the memories we made, the laughter we shared, and the love we built. This box was just a reminder. Now, it's time for you to write our next verse. Go see the world for us. Live the life we dreamed of, and know that with every new sunrise, with every new adventure, our song plays on. It's inside you. Oh, my love, forever, Leo." Beneath the note was another small object, a key. Not the winding key for the music box, but a small, old-fashioned brass key to a safe deposit box. The next day, Clara went to the bank. Inside the box, she found passports, travel documents, and a detailed itinerary for a trip around the world, the trip they had always planned. Leo had arranged everything. He had paid for it all. He had left her a map for their next chapter. Clara cried. But this time, they were not tears of pure grief. They were tears of overwhelming love, of gratitude, of a promise not broken, but transformed. Leo hadn't left her in silence. He had left her a new symphony. She went home and packed her bags. She placed the silent music box inside, right next to the worn history books he loved so much. It was no longer a source of pain. It was a compass. Her first stop was a small village in the Italian countryside, a place he had described from a textbook. As she stood on a hill overlooking a valley of olive groves, the sun warm on her face, she closed her eyes. And for the first time in months, she heard it, not from the box, but from within. It was their melody, clear and strong, harmonizing with the whisper of the wind and the rhythm of her own hopeful heart. The song hadn't stopped. It had just been waiting for her to learn how to play it on her own. And as she set off to see the world for both of them, she knew that their music would never, ever fade. Why? Thank you for watching. If this story touched your heart, please consider liking this video and subscribing for more stories that find the music in life. Until next time.